On December 4th, 1872, the merchant ship was found adrift and abandoned in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, with no sign of its captain, crew, or passengers. The circumstances surrounding the abandonment of the vessel have puzzled historians and the public for over a century, spawning countless theories and speculation. The Marie Celeste was a 282-ton brigantine that had a reputation for being a sturdy and reliable ship. On November 7th, 1872, it set sail from New York City, bound for Genoa, Italy, carrying a cargo of 1,700 barrels of raw alcohol. On board were the captain, Benjamin Spooner Briggs, his wife and 2-year-old daughter, and a crew of 7 other sailors. The ship was next sighted nearly a month later, on December 4th, by the crew of the British vessel DEI Gracia. The Marie Celeste was found drifting and apparently abandoned, with the crew's personal belongings still on board, the cargo intact, and the ship's log and charts left behind. Extensive searches were conducted, but no trace of the captain, his family, or the crew was ever found.
Mutiny theory. The mutiny theory posits that there was some kind of breakdown in the relationship between Briggs and his crew, perhaps due to tensions, disagreements, or even abuse. It's possible that the crew felt compelled to take drastic action and overthrow the captain's authority. In the aftermath of a mutiny, the crew may have decided to abandon the ship, either to escape retribution or because the situation had become untenable. Proponents of the mutiny theory point to the fact that the ship was found in good condition, with the cargo and personal belongings of the crew still intact. This suggests that the abandonment was not due to a catastrophic event, such as a shipwreck or a natural disaster. Additionally, the missing lifeboat lends credence to the idea that the crew deliberately left the ship rather than being forced to do so. However, the mutiny theory is not without its critics. Some argue that there is no clear evidence of any discord or conflict among the crew, and that Briggs was a well-respected and experienced captain. Additionally, the lack of any signs of violence or struggle on board the Marie Celeste has led some to question whether a mutiny would have unfolded in such a seemingly orderly manner. Ultimately, the mutiny theory remains one of the most compelling and widely discussed explanations for the mysterious disappearance of the Marie Celeste and its crew. While it provides a plausible narrative, the true events that led to the abandonment of the ship continue to elude historians and the public alike, contributing to the enduring fascination with this maritime mystery.
Pirates theory. Proponents of the pirate attack theory point to a few key pieces of evidence. Firstly, the fact that the lifeboat was missing from the ship when it was discovered suggests that the crew may have been forced to abandon the vessel in a hurry, potentially under duress from pirates. Additionally, the lack of any signs of a struggle or disaster on board the ship has led some to believe that the crew did not simply vanish, but were rather forcibly removed from the vessel. Furthermore, the Marie Celeste was carrying a valuable cargo of raw alcohol, which could have been a tempting target for pirates operating in the Atlantic at the time. The idea that the pirates may have killed or taken the crew and then made off with the lifeboat, leaving the ship to drift aimlessly, has become a compelling narrative in the enduring mystery of the Marie Celeste. However, critics of the pirate attack theory point out that there is little direct evidence to support it, and that the lack of any ransom demands or other indications of piracy make it a less likely explanation than other theories, such as mutiny or natural disaster. Nonetheless, the possibility of a pirate attack remains one of the more intriguing and dramatic theories in the ongoing investigation into the fate of the Marie Celeste and its ill-fated crew. Attacked by their rescuers, the DEI Gracia was captained by David Morehouse, who was an acquaintance of Captain Briggs of the Marie Celeste. When the DEI Gracia came across the abandoned Marie Celeste, they were legally entitled to claim the ship and its cargo as salvage, as was common practice at the time. Some theorists have suggested that Morehouse and his crew may have boarded the Marie Celeste with the intention of claiming the ship and its valuable cargo of alcohol. In the process, they may have encountered the Marie Celeste's crew, and a violent confrontation ensued, resulting in the deaths of Briggs, his family, and the rest of the crew. The proponents of this theory point to a few key pieces of evidence. Firstly, the Marie Celeste's lifeboat was missing, which could indicate that the crew had attempted to flee their attackers. Secondly, there were no signs of a struggle or disaster on board the ship, which seems unusual if the crew had abandoned ship for legitimate reasons. Additionally, some have noted that the DEI Gracia arrived at its destination port much earlier than expected, leading to speculation that they may have been rushing to offload the Marie Celeste's cargo before anyone could investigate further. However, this theory remains highly speculative, and there is no conclusive evidence to support the idea that the DEI Gracia crew was responsible for the disappearance of the Marie Celeste's occupants. The true fate of the ship and its crew continues to be one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in maritime history. Insurance fraud. The reasoning behind this theory is that the Marie Celeste was carrying a valuable cargo of 1,700 barrels of raw alcohol, which would have been worth a significant amount of money. Additionally, the ship itself was also insured for a substantial sum. Some have speculated that Briggs may have seen an opportunity to make a quick profit by staging the ship's abandonment and collecting the insurance money. Proponents of the insurance fraud theory point to a few key details that they believe support their case. Firstly, the fact that the ship's lifeboat was missing has been seen as suspicious, as it suggests the crew may have used it to escape the vessel. Additionally, the lack of any signs of struggle or disaster on board has led some to believe the abandonment was planned rather than the result of an unexpected event. However, critics of this theory argue that there is little concrete evidence to support the idea of insurance fraud. They note that Briggs was a respected and experienced captain with a spotless reputation, making it unlikely that he would risk his career and freedom by engaging in such a scheme. Additionally, the insurance payout at the time would not have been enough to make such a risky plan worthwhile. Ultimately, the insurance fraud theory remains one of the more controversial and speculative explanations for the Marie Celeste mystery. While it cannot be entirely ruled out, most historians and maritime experts tend to view it as an unlikely scenario given the lack of solid evidence. The true fate of the ship and its crew continues to elude us, leaving the Marie Celeste as one of the most enduring unsolved mysteries in maritime history. The seaquakes theories. Seaquakes are sudden, violent disturbances in the ocean floor that can create powerful shock waves and turbulence on the surface. These events are often accompanied by loud, rumbling noises and can cause significant damage to ships and other maritime structures. Proponents of the seaquake theory believe that the Marie Celeste may have encountered such an event, which could have led the crew to believe that the ship was in imminent danger of sinking. According to this theory, the sudden onset of a seaquake may have caused the crew to panic and hastily abandon the Marie Celeste, even though the ship itself was still seaworthy and the cargo remained intact. The violent shaking and disorientation caused by the seaquake could have led the crew to believe that the vessel was in grave peril, prompting them to take to the lifeboat and flee the scene, leaving behind their personal belongings and the ship's log. While the seaquake theory remains speculative, it is a compelling explanation that takes into account the lack of any obvious signs of distress or disaster on the Marie Celeste. The sudden and unexplained nature of the crew's disappearance has long been a source of fascination, and the seaquake hypothesis offers a plausible, if unproven, explanation for this enduring maritime mystery. Theories and inquiries that have been put forward through the years cannot explain the actual circumstances of their disappearance. Even if we could never know the truth about what happened during that voyage, this enigmatic allure that this mystery possesses holds us spellbound, searching for answers. If you enjoyed the Marie Celeste, subscribe to our channel for more exciting stories of the sea. In the next video, we're going to fill you in on another such puzzle of the high seas that has historians scratching their heads, and has done so for generations. What other unsolved riddles of the ocean depths await us? Watch and find out. Until then, keep exploring the unknown. You know what secrets the sea may still hold.